Okay, you guys, welcome back to another build video. In this video, we're going to talk about the Nuclear Demolitionist build. The Nuclear Demolitionist has huge amount of DPS and very high explosive and burning damage. It has very satisfying DPS numbers, it is very easy to use, you have no problems with ground enemies, no problems with flying enemies, no problem with empathy bosses, no problem with vicious or spiteful or any other modifier in the game. I was lucky enough to have most of the bosses in this playthrough to be vicious and hearty or spiteful and hearty, and that really shows how powerful this build can be. Honestly, the end result of this build is amazing. It has a lot of utility, a lot of things that work together in perfect harmony, and combining all these things, guys, plus the ease of use of the build made me play the whole campaign with the build, but I will show you only some key moments, how to fight in different scenarios, how to use your whole kit to its fullest potential. You will see in this video many boss kills, how to clear ads on the way, and how to cycle, most importantly, your mods. We pretty much have infinite mods. Even if we run out of mods, we have many ways to regen our mod power back. All the clips that you see are all from Apocalypse playthrough. I was falling in love with it every moment and every hour that it was passing. The build was not boring at all. I was feeling very strong. The numbers and the one-shots that you do when you see that 3k damage is just, it puts a smile on your face, and this is what made me fall in love with this build. Without further ado, let's jump into the build, guys. Our prime archetype is Archon. Tempest. Automatically generate 3 mod power per second. Casting a mod increases all mod generation by 100%. This is super good, guys. This is all we need for our build. Amplify increases mod damage by 50% and grants 10% mod critical chance. This is also very good and it pairs perfectly with our build. Power creep. After casting a mod, 5% of the mod power spent will be generated by all allies over 10 seconds. While power creep is active, allies also gain 5% mod power generation. Spirit Within reduces mod power requirement per charge by 15% and instantly refunds 15% of the mod power cost split among active mods. This is also huge for our build, guys, and it's very helpful. The next one is also very important. This is also one of the reasons that we are using Lifeless Heart. Power Leak. Using a relic grants 200 mod power for both equipped mods and an additional 100 to current mod. Guys, this is huge. We are spamming our relics to keep the summon alive and also get free mod power back as well. So this is huge, guys. Our second archetype is the Summoner. Dominator increases mod and skill damage by 35% and mod and skill critical chance by 5% while a minion is active, guys. This is why we are spamming the Lifeless Heart, because we need to keep the minion alive, guys. If the minion dies, we are wasting big amount of damage of our kit. Residue is not that important. Outrage is also not important. Insight. Using a relic grants minion 5% max HP per second and increases their damage dealt by 15% and critical chance by 15%, last 30 seconds. This is again one of the reasons why Lifeless Heart is perfect for this build, guys. On the Lifeless Heart we are using 10% mod damage, minus 10% mod cost and 20 healing effectiveness. The reason why we are using the healing effectiveness, guys, is because Lifeless Heart heals you for very low amount of HP. With the 20% healing effectiveness, we are getting 1/3 of our HP back every time we are using our relic. Our main gun and the superstar of this build is Meridian. Guys, this gun is insane. The mod of this gun shoots literally a missile. That missile, if it crits, it does 3k damage flat. It is actually insane. As you can see in the footage in the background, this gun melts. It one-shots almost every single enemy which is not elite. We are pairing Meridian with Failsafe. Attach mod deals 20% additional mod damage. Our long gun is the Black Maw AR-47. On the Black Maw we are using the Prismatic driver. Guys, I was testing things around and this mod is actually insane. The explosion is super satisfying. It does big amount of damage. It can crit up to 2.2k damage. It is super satisfying to use because it is like playing with plasma cutter, but it is explosive. The damage on this thing is actually nuts. I didn't ever expect it to be that powerful. Also, with the amulet that we are using, we are boosting this explosion by 25%, and also after the explosion the enemies are set on fire if they are not dead. So that is also boosting our damage by a lot. Same with the Meridian. Every time we are using our mod, after the explosion we get 465 burning damage over 5 seconds. So the detonator trigger amulet is beautiful for this build, and it is why everything works so perfectly together. The Prismatic driver does explosion, so it works with that, and also our Meridian mod Screamer does explosive damage, and also the simple shots from the Meridian do explosive damage as well. So we are boosting everything, and all in all this amulet is what makes this build so powerful. For our rings we are using the Blasting Cap ring, increases explosive damage by 10%. Simple, powerful. Our next ring is Burden of the Gambler, disables weak spots, increases critical chance by 10% and critical damage by 20%. This is one of the two rings that helps us achieve the 3k crit with the missile. Our next ring is Probability Court, increases critical damage by 30%. So the two rings that we are using are making our Meridian to hit for 3k crit damage, guys. To complete the build we need more mod power generation. Burden of the Follower reduces fire rate by 15%, increases mod power generation by 50%. This is gonna help us get our mods back and just fire rapidly and have our mods ready on the go every time we need it. And for our armor we are going with the Night Stalker Shroud helmet to complete that demolitionist look. For our body armor, classic Leto Mark II, legs Leto Mark II, and for our gloves we are going with a Realm Walker gloves because they have 2 weight and they put us at 75 weight. And that completes our build, guys. Enjoy the rest of the footage of boss kills, of ad clear. For the Annihilation, guys, I really don't know what happened with the AI of the boss. It was dodging left and right like crazy. It was super funny and super frustrating at the same time. I didn't record the kill of the Annihilation because I don't really recommend this build for the Annihilation. It's a little bit frustrating, but for everything else it works perfectly. If you have the patience, of course you can do it. I didn't. You can skip to the last part to see the traits and the sum up of the build. But I would recommend you to stay and watch the footage because it's very fun and oddly satisfying. And some honorable mentions, of course, are the Aphelion 3.8, the Sporebloom 1.8, and of course the Starkiller, guys. Boom, 7.7. Okay, so let's sum up the build. This is the amulet, the rings, the guns, failsafe, screamer, Blackmo, Prismatic Driver, and Harmonizer. Guys, the reason why I'm using Blackmo is because it's the only gun that this mutator looks sick. On every other gun, it looks ugly as hell. And last but not least, our trade points. Fortify, Kinship, 3 levels on Triage to heal more with our relic. We didn't go for Vigor, Spirit, Fitness, Siphoner, 5 levels to Rugged to make the summon tankier, and very importantly, Gluten, guys. We need to use our relic as fast as possible. We are spamming it, so that means we need to save time when we are activating it, so we are not locked in an animation that an enemy can kill us. Okay, so that's it for this build, guys. Thank you very much if you sticked to the end. I hope you really enjoyed it. This was a blast to make. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. It really means more than you can imagine. And that's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.